Casuals will buy a bad product and play it for a little bit, and it will give them their bottom line when it comes to day one sales, week one. But casuals will not continue to play the game. Hey, what's up? Howdy, YouTube. Casuals will not continue to play the game and support the product and pay for all of the DLC. Usually, the hardcore scene is what does that, right? So if the hardcore scene doesn't like what a studio is doing to their favorite franchise, whether it be netcode, character design, lobby systems, or whatever, talk with your wallet. Just don't pay for shitty products. Hi, YouTube. What's up, Lilith? Yeah, just don't pay for shitty products. I don't care if it's Call of Duty or if it's Street Fighter 9. I don't give a fuck what it is. Don't pay for shitty products. It's that simple. You know what I mean? Right? So, on the topic of, someone mentioned Guilty Gear's lobby systems earlier, because like they were like, is this the price we pay for good netcode, a trash lobby system? Right? And the floor-based matchmaking thing, I think, is like pretty interesting. I don't think it's cool. It's essentially still rank. You're moving up or down in floors. It's fucking rank because you need to specifically be a certain skill level to get to the higher levels of the higher floors, the lower floors. I don't know how it works. I haven't got to play the Strat beta. I don't have a PS4. But what I will say is that there's already a perfectly good working lobby system in an indie fighting game called Them's Fighting Herds. Now, because there's already a perfectly good working lobby system that shows us how lobby should work, why not either build upon the existing infrastructure or create your own very similar to or better than, right? Instead of regressing and making something that's significantly worse than the products we already have. Especially because, didn't ArcSys make Dragon Ball FighterZ, which even has technically a better lobby system than Guilty Gear Strive? Not even the fact that the beta is being wonky. That's acceptable. But I've just heard general complaints about the lobby being ass, and I never heard those complaints about Dragon Ball FighterZ lobby. I never heard those complaints about what's it called? Grand Blue's lobby. I never heard those complaints about Them's Fighting Herds lobby. People love the Them's Fighting Herds lobby. You shouldn't pay for shitty products. Talk with your wallets, not with your mouths. We can bitch on Twitter all we want. We can bitch on YouTube, on their YouTube comment section of the tutorials. I've seen that shit, by the way. I've seen it, okay? People are bitching on the YouTube tutorials for Strive, saying that they don't like things about the game. You can do that all you want, but the game comes out in 2 months. So the best way for you to tell devs you don't like their product is to not pay for it. They can either pull the smart move and try to fix the product or make a better product later down the road, making less mistakes than they did the first time, or they can pull an SNK and give Sam Show a 3rd season, even though the game has like an active player base of 10 players a day. I don't want to say I don't see a point in complaining, because of course we're humans and we want to vent, right? So I can't like fault people for being upset that their game didn't get any new news at the Fighting Game Conference today. What's today? Today was the 20th when the Fighting Game Conference started, right? February 20th. Or that their game got shitty news. I totally get that. That's totally fine. Acceptable. But I will say that the only way to tell those devs that what they're doing is dumb is to speak with your wallet. Easy. Don't like Street Fighter 5? Don't buy the new season and the new characters. Don't play the game. Keep their active player numbers low. Only the casuals will play, not the hardcore fans. And the hardcore fans are what keep games alive. Soul Calibur 6 is a perfect example of that. Most of the people, if you play on ranked, go on PC and play on ranked. Most of the people who are playing on PC are competitive players. The vast majority of all PC players, there's not very many, are competitive players. They constantly change their name because the people who are more casual and run into them in ranked won't play them if they know that they're a competitive player. So there's this whole thing going on about, well, why are you changing your name? Don't change your name. That's stupid. You know, you're making the game more difficult for other people. But then you also get dodged if you're your name. People one and done me all the time, and I don't consider myself good at the game, right? But so that game is being kept alive by its most passionate player base, the competitive players who will sit through all of the bullshit with retracking verticals and verticals that catch step and reverse ledge being one of the jankiest meter gain mechanics I've ever seen. It's like Wager, but better because it gains you meter instead of costing meter. and things like Soul Charge that are like a Guilty Gear Burst that puts you into a super strong insult state that every character has access to, and you get a free meter if you're losing 2 rounds. You know, the competitive player base puts up with that, and they've built their stable competitive orbit around it. The casuals, they're gonna eventually drop it. So if the competitive players don't like it, and the casual players don't play it too, and the competitive players drop it, what happens to sales numbers? What happens to active player count? What happens to devs looking at their mistake? Shitty netcode, trying shitty netcode, or trying to make better netcode when it comes to games like Tekken 7, which said it has rollback, but it doesn't. But it does have better netcode than it did in Season 1 through 3. And Street Fighter V's horrendous rollback netcode that it's had since the game launched. It is good tries. Movement in the correct direction. They're trying to progress, not regress, which I think is cool. But like I said with the lobby system, there's already a groundwork for what works and what doesn't. If there's indie games / independent titles, like Them's Fighting Herds, like Punch Planet, like Fantasy Strike, that have good netcode, that have GGPO or a GGPO equivalent, of rollback equivalent, there is no excuse for these devs not to have it. They don't have it because they want to build their own and they're doing it wrong. Work off of what works, not what doesn't. The player counts for MKX were so low online that before Injustice 2 came out, we got, I don't know if any of you guys were in the fighting game community for this, we got an overhauled version of Mortal Kombat X called Mortal Kombat XL. They re-released the game with all the DLC characters and enhanced netcode. The enhanced netcode patch was free. Everyone that was on, like the entire patch was free, of course. You know, if you didn't have the characters, you didn't have the characters. But that netcode is the foundation, is the solid foundation that they used for Injustice 2 and Mortal Kombat 11, because they tested it with MKX after realizing that their player counts were dropping. After realizing, holy crap, MK9's netcode was so bad, but it was serviceable for the time because no one had good netcode. Games like Street Fighter V, whoa, this has rollback. This came out before MK, if I'm not mistaken. Games like KI had rollback. Whoa, this came out around the same time as MK, maybe a little before as well. There is no excuse for bad netcode. If you are making excuses for bad netcode, for bad tries of making better netcode, then you are a netcode apologist. You are a delay-based apologist. And you know what I say about that? I say get that shit the fuck out of here, okay? Call me Sajam 2.0, okay? Because I love Rollbackia. Rollbackia is sick. Rollbackia is my favorite country on the planet. They understand that every dev needs to make rollback netcode for their fighting games. Rollback netcode should be in every fucking game. It should be in fucking League of Legends. It should be in Call of Duty. It should be in Rocket League. It should be in every fucking competitive game, minus like card games or whatever. Who cares, right? There's no excuse for shitty netcode. There's so many examples of how to make good netcode already. Why not use one of those examples? Same with a bad lobby system. There's already examples of good lobby systems. Why not use a good lobby system? A tried and true. Why change or fix what's not broken? I think I hit all the points. Oh, the topic of 3 seasons for Soul Calibur. I see that. 2 seasons is more than any previous NRS games, right? Every NRS game has had 2 seasons since Mortal Kombat X. Mortal Kombat X had 2 seasons, then they came out with MKX. Injustice 2 had Combat Pack or Hero Pack, I don't remember what they're called, 1 and 2. I think it may have even had 3, I'd have to look. But I know for sure that 2. And then Mortal Kombat X, I think they're on Pack 2. So every game's had like 2 packs or whatever. But you also have to remember that NRS usually only focuses on 1 game at a time, and also only pushes 1 game at a time, right? They focus on 1 game at a time, and they make 1 game at a time. They only have that one baby, so they have to make it right, right? The difference between that game, between NRS and Bandai Namco, which rumblings on Twitter, is that the Soul Calibur community, which I am kind of a part of, I've recently dropped the game. I'm not playing fighting games for a little bit, but I can still talk about them, because of course I still love fighting games. That will never change. They're big baby rage mad that there's no news of if Soul Calibur 6 is donezo, there's no 3rd season, or if there is a 3rd season on the way and we just don't know about it yet. The reason why we can't really expect them to tell us anything is because if you look at the presentation, if you guys pause my video right now and go watch. If you're watching this live on Twitch, sorry, you can't pause me. Please don't leave. Just hang out here for a little bit, all right? If you go watch the fighting game conference, the fighting game Japanese developer roundtable, whatever it's called, there was barely any news from Bamco at all. They showed like a really shitty trailer for a Tekken character. Didn't even really show the character. She's Polish. I guess she's a Polish police officer. Cool, badass. We didn't see her face. We didn't see her moveset. We didn't see her name, anything. And shirts, or a shirt designed for Soul Calibur 6, one or the other, something like that, right? But we did not get any news for Dragon Ball FighterZ. Are we assuming that Dragon Ball FighterZ is dead? Are we assuming that there's no new season coming? There's not a season 3, a season 4. It's already on season 3 of Dragon Ball FighterZ. No, I don't see Dragon Ball FighterZ players talking about the game being dead, mostly because they're probably playing Strive right now, so they don't give a shit because they have a game with good netcode to play now. Secondly, because they understand that right now we are on a COVID time schedule. Shit is fucking delayed. Sometimes they have to push back their news because it's not ready yet. They've told us when the last Soul Calibur game was going to lose support. They told us 5 is no longer being supported. Why would they not give us the same courtesy with Soul Calibur 6? Especially because Soul Calibur 6 sold phenomenal compared to Soul Calibur 5 and 4 and 3. I can't say anything. I think the Soul Calibur 2 still technically sold more units if you consider the original plus the HD Online re-release. Don't be so hard on the devs. You know? Right now, it's hard for everybody. You think your life is hard because you're stuck inside, you can't go anywhere, you have to play online fighting games, and you're subjected to bad netcode? Imagine being the devs with people adding you on Twitter constantly that their character is broken or their character needs fixes and that their character sucks. And that you don't have enough time to get to every single fucking complaint because, of course, fighting games aren't perfect and there's going to be something wrong in so many situations. I don't see the point. Wait it out a little bit longer. 3 months without an announcement is not that long. We got Hwang we got a Hwang trailer, which was the last character we got for Soul Calibur 6 in November. Not that far off. It's only been 3 months. December, January, February. Oh my gosh. 6 months without an update. That's what people are saying right now. That we're going to wait 6 months before we get another update. Who cares? Fighting games back in the day didn't used to have updates at all. When you played on your PS2, you bought the game, you unlocked all the characters through trials, through arcade mode, through time trials, survival, whatever, through story mode. That was it. If the game was imbalanced, that was it. If your character sucks because some moves didn't work, they just whiffed for no reason, that was it. You either worked with what you had or you switched games. I posted on Twitter earlier, if you're playing a game, any game, if you're playing a game, waiting for it to get better or waiting for it to be in a place where you enjoy it, instead, play a different game. So to anyone, any fighting game player right now that's not enjoying their game, play something else. Because you're still technically speaking with your wallet if you do so. That still leads back to the same root cause the same root boycotting that I'm referring to. Instead of, using your wallet, using your time, don't give them your time because your time isn't worth it. Or your time is worth more than what they're offering, I should say. Anyways, this is Beanie Thuggish, signing out. Peace out, YouTube.